bringing in the military tanks and so on. All of a sudden there's Ebola, there's all this type of disease, right? People are dying left and right. It's because the UN, they're a bunch of, that's the beast. They're a bunch of killers and murderers, right? And by peace he shall destroy many, and he shall stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hands. Right? Right, so it says, and by peace he shall destroy many, because so-called white man comes in the name of peace.
That's right. He also did that with the Native American Indians.
He broke over 400 treaties.
Reuben and Issachar, because he came to the Native Indians in America, and he basically came in peace. But that what he did, war was in his mind. That's what the scriptures say in the book of Psalms.
Right.
Then he took their land. That's why it says he came in peace, but still he destroyed many. That's Esau. Okay?
It says, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which is Yahushua, the one y'all ignorant call Jesus Christ, which is a black man, an angry black man. But he shall be broken without hands. How is going to be broken without hands? Because the Most High is coming with them chariots, and them chariots are going to be shooting laser beams. Right? And he's going to come with the military, and the military is going to be turned. That's what it says in the book of Esdras. But we wanted to go into the book of Esdras, so we got to go back in it now. Right? When it prophesied that the only thing that I beheld was smoke and dust. Alright? Because when the chariots hit, not even the iron's gonna remain nothing. It's not gonna be like the little missile that hit the plane and then you see the fire and it goes on and explodes and you see all the scrap metals. No. When Yahushua hits you with the missiles of the chariots, it's the only thing that's gonna be perceived is just dust and smoke. Alright?
I'll get that real quick, yeah?
Okay, that's the only thing that's gonna be perceived. Okay? Which is gonna be seen. Right? Because he's gonna try to magnify himself against the Lord. And how he's going to cause these other nations to fight against the Lord? Because he keep on pushing through the media and through the YouTube and through the television how the aliens are little green men and how they are coming to take over the world and how they are bad. No, those are the angels of the Lord coming to bring righteousness and judgment upon the earth. Alright? Go ahead.
This is Micah chapter 2 verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right? And that's talking about Israel. Right? Because the so-called white man, he goes and steals their land and their resources. Right? And then he oppresses them at the same time after he done stole them and enslaved them. Right? Because he goes around stealing their land. And then after he oppresses them. Right? He got the Native American, and I saw a video that came out about the tribe of Gad, right, which is beautiful, of the Native American Indian waking up, but the video all of a sudden of a 3 days time or 2 days time was taken down. I don't know what happened, right? But you gotta understand that they say a troop shall of Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So basically, the so-called that bitch over there, got so much pride in her because she's such a hoe. You can see it all in her face. She proud to be walking around like a little hoe, right? So basically, right? So God was taken down by this troop, right? It says, God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the end. Which means basically if you put up a YouTube video, basically I don't know, I guess the government took it down. Right? Where you from, brother? Brother, where you from? Okay, come here, you're Israelite, brother. This for you. Come here, 1 minute. 1 minute. Calling on to our fellas, but they don't hear. Go ahead.
One more time. It's Micah 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
That's right. Go ahead. What else here?
We was in Daniel, right?
Yeah, Daniel. But we're gonna. I want to get a scripture where it said, but those I beheld dust and smoke in the book of Apocrypha. You know what it means?
Second Ezra, 13th chapter.
Yeah.
This is Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night.
I got it. Go ahead.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong.
Right, read that again from the top.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong.
No, from the top. All the way from the top.
And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and
right, and that is Esdras, right? Let's just say he dreamed a dream by night. All right? Go ahead.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof.
And behold, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. Right? And that's talking about the Lord coming back in the midst of World War III. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that men waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
With thousands of heavens, because the Lord, the one called Jesus Christ, Yahweh is coming back with thousands and thousands of chariots. The chariots of Israel, the so-called UFOs. Alright? The curse that go through the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, and that's basically a curse unto Esau. That's not the curse unto Israel, the elect in the 1/3.
That's right.
That's a curse unto Esau and the other nations.
You see here, these are the chariots of Israel, the so-called UFOs. Alright? The chariots of Israel. You see all in thousands of angels coming back shooting laser? That's how the Lord is coming back. Alright? Go ahead.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right? So when Yahweh Shai come, all these nations, they're going to be trembling when they see Yahweh Shai coming with great glory and power. Right? But we're not going to tremble because we know that's the Lord Yahweh Shai is coming back with vengeance. Alright? We're gonna rejoice in that day. Alright? When you see you nations, when you see Yahweh Shai come to destroy you nations. Alright? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his...
Where you from, bro? Where you from, bro? Where you from? Suriname, Curaçao? You look like an Israelite, brother. Alright, bro. Alright, go ahead.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, how they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
When they heard his mouth, all of them, let's read that again.
Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth,
the voice went out of his mouth, because the Most High gives the chariots the go ahead to go and destroy these other nations, and that's that laser beam that's going to be coming out of them chariots. Right? When the Lord comes back and he commands me to go ahead and now destroy these heathens. Right? Because when the Lord comes back, these other nations are going to try to fight against the Lord. So the Lord is going to come back over in the sky. And then when the chariots are going to come to try to fight the Lord's going to give the go ahead now and then fight. It's just like when you go to war, you always have a captain in the front. And the captain always holds back the soldiers, the warriors, you know. And he's in the horse there, you know, waiting to see the other army go charge. And when you see the other armies coming to charge, then he's going to put out his hand and say, charge! And you see all of them going to go. And that's how I shall give him that word. Go ahead.
It says, all they burned that heard his voice.
All they burned that heard his voice. Because when the Lord gives the go ahead, when the Father, first of all, give the go ahead, Yahweh is going to come and they're all going to be fighting and shooting lasers and destroying this kingdom. Alright, all this building that you see here, all this is going to come to an end very soon. They're going to be destroyed by the lasers of the chariots and by nuclear bomb. Alright, it's going to be all be turning, it's going to be a total desolation. Alright, wherever Esau dwells, it's going to be desolate. But basically, we cannot kill all the Edomites because certain parts of Europe is going to be hit because we're going to need slaves to build the kingdom. So some of you Edomites are going to be preserved to get beat for the rest of 1,000 years until you get burned. Alright? Y'all going to be beat for 1,000 years unto subjection and working hardcore labor. Alright? Building the kingdom. And believe me, y'all going to be working 24 hours a day, 6 days in a week. Alright? So in the Sabbath, that's going to be your only rest. And you're going to be praying for that Sabbath to come. Right? And believe you me, while you pray, we're gonna be having camp, we're gonna be having barbecue right around the cave, right around the hole wherever we got shot. Right? Just waiting for the sun to go down. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It says, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men.
Like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Because when you burn stone, you burn anything, it melts, it turns to ashes. Alright? If you put fire on a rock, it cracks and it breaks. Right? What was the name of I saw a movie. It was called there was that guy from Hannibal that went to fight the Roman Empire, and he was going to like, it was Spain or so, and he had to go through Africa. He had to go through Africa and reach all the way and go to Turkey.
That's basically talking about the Punic War.
I forget who he named, you know.
His name was
I think
something.
I don't think it's Hannibal.
No, it's from the kingdom of Carthage, right?
Yeah. He went up to fight against Spain. He was always fighting against this Edomite, right? I don't know if he was a Jake or so, right? But he was always conquering, you know. But what destroyed him really, his soldier, was the cold. But when he was going through the mountain to Turkey or something to that effect, I can't really think exactly where it was, right? But he was going through, and when the winter hit, most of his soldiers were dying, and then rocks came and tumbled and covered up his path. And what he did was that he took fire, he took wood and put it by the rock, and he waited until the rocks then started to crumble and burn, and the rocks just started to burst and just turned into to pieces. And then when it started to break in pieces, the soldiers started throwing them away, and then they opened up the path again and they continue going. Right? But I forget the name of the movie. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number.
Right, and after this I behold, gathered together a great multitude of men, right? Which is talking about you other nations. You other nations gonna try to fight against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I won't be surprised the 2/3 being also fighting for the so-called white man in the military to come and fight against the Lord. Ain't that gonna be some bullshit? Oh no. That's gonna be really so. The 2/3 and Esau's military is gonna fight against Yahweh Shai because they don't know anything either. And maybe that same bastard, I will call him, right, is one of them that probably say, Yahweh Shai, crucify and let his blood be upon our children. Right? Go ahead.
From the four winds of the heaven.
From the four winds of the heavens, east, north, west, and south. Right? It's talking about from all the militaries, army around the world. That's why there was that Donald Rumsfeld, something like that. That he said that he made a video that if there was war and we see the alien invasion coming, that they would all come together in one mind and fight against the aliens. That's what was basically what he quoted. That to show you that they're a bunch of devils.
That was his name was Ronald Reagan. That was in the 80s.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan. I said Ronald Rumsfeld. You know, I don't know this Edomite's name. Yeah, go ahead.
From the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea, right? That came out of the all the chariots that coming, you know, because all the chariots represent also sea as well, because they're gonna be covering the sky, just like the people represent sea. The angels are gonna represent sea because it's gonna be vast of them, right? And he's gonna come in the midst of them as well, right? Because it's gonna be a big chariot, right? And he's gonna be surrounded with angels, and then the chariot's gonna also have chariots inside those chariots, right? You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it.
And that's the chariots I'm telling you about. It says, and I behold, he has graven himself a great mountain. So Esdras could not describe the UFO, right? Because it was so big and so vast that it covered the whole sky, right? I was watching a video on YouTube how they spotted this UFO beside the sun, right? And the UFO was so big, and the sun was so big, right? So that to show you could imagine that UFO looked almost like the size of planet Earth, right? That UFO looked like almost the size of the planet Earth to me, right? But that's why Daniel could not describe it. He beheld and saw it, but he could not see where it was that Salaki, where Esdras could not see where this mountain was taking off, because he saw this big, huge thing just coming through the sky. And he checked it, like, you know, just like John couldn't describe the helicopter, he called them locusts, right? He called the white man the dragon, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So, in verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not.
But he couldn't see the region or the place where this chariot coming from. He thought that it was a hill. Right, go ahead.
Verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him.
All they that was gathered, all his military army gathered together to subdue Yahweh Shai with his angels. Go ahead.
Were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
They were all afraid, but yet durst fight. They still fight with the military against Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword,
that's right,
nor any instrument of war.
That's right.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast acquired.
And the only thing I saw as it came out of his mouth, you see them chariots there? Them chariots have an opening in the middle. What's in the middle of